Okay, I know what you're thinking. It'd totally be crazy to go back to 4546b, a planet filled with airplane-sized sea creatures, mysterious alien artifacts, and the site of a doomsday plague. Well, we're going back. Okay, look, I can explain. I came back to this watery nightmare to 100% hardcore Subnautica below zero. Except this would be my first run. I'll need to investigate a mysterious death, make a new alien friend, complete every achievement, collect every single creature egg, and that's right, scan every Leviathan, all in one single life. Of course, I had conveniently decided to start this journey in less than ideal weather.
This is fine, yep. Everything's under control.
Thankfully, I never skipped leg day, and after a quick inspection, things looked pretty repairable. Nothing a fire extinguisher and some duct tape couldn't fit.
Definitely a little worse than the first time.
Unlike last time, it was not swimsuit weather, so I had to find shelter fast. This was day one, and to get to my drop pod, I ended up following this thin passageway with some conveniently placed heat flowers that kept me warm enough to make it to the water's edge. Ah yes, the beautifully familiar yet at times horrific underwaterscape of 4546b. Now this was hardcore mode, which in addition to permadeath, it also meant there weren't any low oxygen alerts. I had to continually make sure I carefully timed my dives so as to not drown. I spent quite a bit of time here exploring, taking in the marvelous views, and gathering up some basic materials before heading over to my drop pod and nabbing the first Steam achievement. Inside, I reviewed a message I got from one Lillian Bench, a supposed fellow researcher that worked alongside Sam. Sam was my sister, and she was stationed on this planet but had met her tragic and equally mysterious end here.
I thought you should know. It didn't sit right with me when Altera blamed Sam's death on negligence.
They did?
Yep, quite the cheap shot from Altera, but Lillian left me a clue onto where to find more information. Their headquarters, the Delta Station. It was supposedly on land, with a big radio tower, and as Lillian put it, impossible to miss.
I don't spot anything. Oh, look at this. Hey guys. The weather seems a lot better down here. I also hear some roaring. I'm assuming those are big things out there somewhere.
Eventually, I found an emergency supply cache, and while looting the emergency snacks was a nice plus, the real prize was finding a recording of a conversation between Sam and one of her coworkers, Fred. Fred let Sam in on a secret. He had found a huge creature, frozen in ice. And of course, Sam was intrigued and wanted to find out more. You can probably guess where this is going.
The thing is that it is mighty dark. It is mighty, mighty dark. That just gives me so much anxiety. Don't want to drown. Don't want to drown. Don't want to drown. Definitely don't want to drown.
Back at base, I crafted up the basic tools as one does on 4546b, making the dependable survival knife as well as the classic scanner. During the next morning, I scanned the sea glide fragment nearby, harvested up some creepvine, and of course, flawlessly managed my oxygen.
In 6 seconds. Please, I'm gonna die. Oh, nope.
A kink for some, but blacking out and ruining my hardcore run would have been pretty crushing, so I made the mental note to prioritize crafting that oxygen tank that I've been putting off. On the way back to the pod, I came across a sea monkey, and this one was quite different than the sea monkey kits I saw growing up as a 90s kid.
Some of the wildlife down here is very grabby.
What the hell? Come back! Sea monkey. Okay, I think they're just mostly nuisances. Uh-oh, 6 seconds.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Oxygen tank time. But wait, there's more. As I was planning the next set of equipment to build, I reviewed more of Sam's messages. And over time, her optimism turned into worry, her curiosity into dread.
I've been under a lot of stress. I'm not sure what's going on with anything.
Alright Sam, all of that will have to wait though, because I had some important things to get to, like finding more of these sea glide pieces.
Perfect, we just need one more. What's that green light? Assuming that's like a plant. Okay, I hope I don't drown. I What do I got, 50 seconds?
I'm not sure if aqua claustrophobia is a real word, but it was a real feeling. There was a ton of good stuff here, and clearly more to explore, but the last thing I needed was to lose track of the exits.
Okay, come on. Swim faster, Robin. Swim faster.
By now, I had enough to make myself some fins. It was no sea glide, but it should give a bit of wiggle room when it comes to my calm and relaxing swims to the surface. The next couple of things on my aquatic grocery list were some silver for some wiring kits and sulfur for the repair tool. However, my exploration had brought me to an area with a pretty sheer drop-off, and the floor was masked by a hazy dark blue.
This is where it gets kind of deep. Yep, this is where it gets kind of deep. This just looks bad. All of this just looks terrible.
Gazing into the dark open waters, my instinctual lizard brain said no thank you, and, well, I listened. At the surface, I came across this floating wreckage, possibly left by Alterra's research group that Sam was a part of. It was here that I found a mineral detector fragment, a nice desk, as well as some snacks, but there was not much left here, so I decided to head back into the depths.
Wow, this just gives me massive thalassophobia, like right there. Perhaps we best not go that direction.
That sounds like a distress call. Maybe it's from a remnant of architect technology. I should definitely check it out.
Definitely should not. Who's staying right here, bucko?
You could say Sam's curiosity definitely got her into some deep waters, but I wasn't exactly excited to be following in her footsteps. Still, investigating the alien signals seemed like the only way forward, so the next day, I went back to that deeper area where I had heard it originally. Fortune did favor the bold because it was here that I came across a sea truck fragment.
Okay.
As well as some sulfur.
Yep. Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, and this is probably a little late, but I eventually realized that these big green bulbs were actually oxygen plants, and if I'm smart, I should be able to go a bit deeper into the trench chaining the plants. It wasn't soon after that I discovered that sea monkey nests did contain some important scannables, like this one that had the last sea glide fragment.
We got the 3 needed. This is where we get to like drowning in an underwater cave territory. Wait, what's this? Nice. Okay, actually worth.
One quick swim back to base later, and with all the stuff I've gathered up so far, I was able to pump out the compass, repair tool, and last but not least, the sea glide.
Oh, this is so much better.
Also, since part of 100%ing is collecting every creature egg, I went back to the kelp root caves to pick up not 1, but actually 2 eggs to add to my collection. I didn't have anywhere to incubate them just yet, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, we can actually go pretty deep. As long as I can see an oxygen plant, I could probably go down there. It's just like on the way back up. Another sea truck fragment. On the way back up, depending on where I am, like I might not be able to make it. So I still can't go too deep. Wow, this is a maze. This is a maze.
While exploring down here, I came across another recording between 2 of Sam's coworkers, Fred, who we've heard from before, and their manager Emmanuel, who had a voice that sounded like this.
It appears you transported tech for Lil, rather far out from her base. Her work is currently on surface installations.
Why does he talk like that?
No more favors to friends, agreed?
Yes, sir.
I keep telling you. Call me Manu.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, knife. Yeah. I need a second.
A well-deserved break was in order, and I headed back near the life pod to set up this gravity trap to make catching dinner a bit easier. It was around this time that my PDA pinpointed the actual location for Delta Station.
Delta Station dock.
Very nice. That's where we gotta go.
This is the place Lil mentioned in her message.
We'll be there in a second.
I didn't want to continue risking my soft and likely nutritious body with whatever lived in the murky depths, so I started building a mobile vehicle bay.
Very nice. What lovely weather. to be assembling a vehicle.
Or, well, so I thought. I didn't have any of the materials I needed for the sea truck, so I headed back to the trenches for more silver and lead, but something caught my eye. The classic blue and white tube. Base buildings.
Ooh. I might be dead. I might be dead. Oh, no. I'm at the edge. Come on. Oh my god. I need to sit down. I need to sit down for this. What a rush. Truly.
The trenches were proving to be slightly more dangerous than anticipated. Between constantly fighting off the locals and almost blacking out every other time I'm here, I knew scanning the rest of the base buildings would have to wait, and I had to prioritize the sea truck. By now my inventory was full and I headed back to base. It was at this point that I upgraded to a high capacity O2 tank and began the construction of the sea truck, thus fulfilling another Steam achievement. Luckily for me, my little robot builders didn't seem to mind that it was snowing sideways, though I probably could have picked a better spot to call in the sea truck.
Okay, with the sea truck, I can now go deeper.
And deeper I went. Well, that was until...
Maximum
okay.
depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Okay, great. Looks like we can't go too deep. Can I ram into you? Dude, get out of here, bro. Oh, wow. That's a one-shot. That was a one-shot. What is this thing? Oh, there's another one. Okay. Yo, you want some? You want some? Hey, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to... There you go.
My sea truck was proving to be worth its weight in flattened brute sharks, and while I felt a little conflicted morally, legally, this was reasonable self-defense.
Oh no, he's going into the... clipping into the ground.
I was back at that abandoned base from earlier, and now I had plenty of time to scan the remaining things that I had missed. It was here that I discovered the habitat tool, which in turn unlocked a whole host of buildables that would allow me to set up a home to appreciate the incredible and beautiful ecosystem here. But well, in the meantime,
This guy could suck it. What's up, bucko?
of course, I hadn't forgotten about the alien signal, and I knew it had to be coming from around this area. I came across these flashing green alien light posts, clearly leading me to somewhere or someone.
Okay. Or of the alien dubstep. I just gotta look out for the next oxygen bubble. That's just the most important thing. There's one up here. Excellent. It's kind of dicey. It is a little bit dicey. Okay. Okay.
Sanctuary power critical.
Hello? Is someone there?
In a manner of speaking. We're running out of time.
They speak English?
Seeking emergency storage medium.
I can help you better if you show yourself.
If we could show ourselves, we would not need storage. Storage medium identified. We will be lost unless we find a new host. Can you help?
Can you use my PDA for storage?
You are not with the group from before. Your cybernetic components bear their signal.
Altera? No, my equipment is, borrowed.
It will have to do.
Why do I have the feeling like I'm about to get possessed? Because he used the word host. Hosts? I don't know. Sounds like me. Oh, we know what these things are. We knows what these things are.
Ah yes, good old ion cubes. I nabbed up a few because I figured whatever was about to happen to me, I may as well take some souvenirs.
Oh, jeez.
How long have you been stored here?
Longer than hoped. Warning. Sanctuary power critical.
Insert storage medium. Well, there's nothing.
Storage medium accepted. Brace for Chester.
Grace? What's happening?
Transfer. Transfer complete.
Yep.
How do you feel?
Why do you sound like you're inside my head?
The facility identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
Could,
Are in my head? I offered you my PDA! Get out!
Oh no. Does your kind perceive a boundary between cybernetic and organic components?
My mind is not a component!
You sound angry. We will allow you a moment to process.
Don't you go silent on me. Hello? This is not happening. That's the explanation. It's not happening.
this might take a bit to put back together. Yep. Why couldn't we just leave stuff alone?
Okay, yes, I did mention taking back souvenirs, but an alien mind virus wasn't exactly what I meant. The good news was I did unlock the xenobiology achievement by doing this though. When I returned to my sea truck, I get a phone call from the alien who said this.
They're even calling
We
me.
understand this arrangement is undesirable to you.
You're not real. Go away.
To go, we require a suitable body for transfer.
This was Alan, and he explained that his people were essentially a hive mind collective alien race known as the Architects. And if I wanted him out of my head, I'll need to build him a suitable body. There were components I had to assemble together, but like everything else on 4546B, there was a catch. Alan had been alone and disconnected from his people for so long, he had lost access to exactly where these blueprints were located. All that would have to wait though, because first, breakfast.
Cook 'em.
One full belly later, and I was back into the trenches. But then something caught my eye.
There is a hole. There is a hole.
My sea truck was about to implode, but curiosity got the better of me and just to see.
Oh, ooh, okay. This sounds and feels like Leviathan territory. Ooh, that's a big boy. I think this might be getting too deep. There's stuff down here though. Okay, little greed. Okay. I'm thinking this isn't a good idea. Is this an oxygen plant? Yes, we could kind of just juggle these for a little bit. Oh, why? Oh, why? You know what? We'll come back down later. I think I must have taken the wrong turn. Silly me.
There was probably a more manageable area I could revisit first, the root caves. Now, I had been through there a few times already, but I noticed that to build the habitat builder, I needed more silver ore. And if my memory serves me correctly, which usually it doesn't, but silver ore should be somewhere in there.
There's so many of these guys.
On the bright side, I was able to find this alien artifact, which according to Alan wasn't just an artifact, but also a way to somehow help jog his memory or connection to the larger architect network. I also found some more sea monkey nests, which were apparently like aquatic crows who loved adding shiny things to their homes. I scanned this laser cutter fragment and eventually found another nest with a propulsion cannon. Back in my pod, I constructed the habitat builder and started putting down my base in the shallows area near the pod, but then it hit me, the trenches. Though there were hungry brute sharks and an increased risk of drowning, both of these wouldn't be an issue anymore once I put a base down there. And in turn, that area was just filled with tons of ores waiting for me to slurp up, not to mention easy access to revisit those deeper areas. Nightmare fuel, maybe, but if I can get a death module for my sea truck, it was a risk I'd be willing to take. At the very least, this area seemed to be Leviathan free, which was a good thing for now, but not great if I'm setting out to scan them all. I set down an eye tube right around here, slapped on a hatch, and installed a solar panel. I'm not exactly sure how much sunlight was actually reaching me down here, but apparently it was enough because my base was lit and the oxygen was flowing. Still, it wasn't big enough to start trying to hatch the couple of creature eggs I had, but at the very least, I was finally safe.
Ah, alien artifact. Times 3J. Okay.
I spent some time doing my rounds around the area, getting carried away with collecting as much ore as I could until I remembered why I was here, finding out what happened to Sam.
Next place is Delta Station Dock.
I headed south, and to my surprise, it was actually a pretty short trip. I came across what looked like underwater spires. I assumed a new biome meant new minerals, and it looked like I was right because I found these shiny pieces of lithium.
Oh. What? Okay, I see something moving. It looks quite big, and it made a loud sound. So I'm going this way.
I eventually found the Delta Station dock, where I parked my sea truck and climbed up. It was good to be back on solid land. Or, well, that's what I would say if my temperature wasn't constantly plunging due to the, well, below zero climate here. To make matters worse,
This is a recorded message. If you can hear this, you're trespassing. If you know what's good for you, you'll get the hell out of here.
luckily for my fingers, there were a ton of these caves with heat lilies in them, where I was able to catch my breath and warm back up. And there were even some shrub nuts, which were a relief since I've been needing more fiber anyways.
Jesus.
Stop right there, Altera. You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Altera.
Then your position is doubly precarious.
What do you mean?
If you're telling the truth, you're out of your mind. If you're lying, there'll be hell to pay.
Wait! Who are you?
Stay off my land.
What a woman. Wow.
I've never been more emotionally confused in my life, equal parts terrified and, well, never mind. Anyways, that was Margaret Maida, a mercenary who was stranded on 4546B and supposedly died long before the events of the previous game, who I guess is now not actually dead. I had a feeling we'd be seeing more of Margaret, but in the meantime, I had stumbled across the remnants of the Delta Station. It was here that I scanned the multi-purpose room, and when I went inside, I could see that there was still a lot of equipment left, like this locker, a jukebox, office chair, table, and a counter. There was another area where I was able to scan this observatory as well as a PDA recording from Emmanuel, who somehow had this uncanny talent of talking like an email.
And then, what do you think if we look at reorganizing our expectations?
To facilitate longer-term separations.
There was also the satellite tower, the crown jewel of Delta Station. I took a look at it and it had an opening for a test override module, which according to the manuals would set the tower into test mode, thus disabling it. Either way, I didn't have time to worry about that just yet because I had neither the test override module nor enough body heat to stick around, so a trip back to my sea truck was in order. Oh, by this point I realized that there were a few areas near Delta Station where it was still an active volcano. While I was just freezing above on the surface, I didn't exactly want to be incinerated down below. Still, I read a lot of geology books growing up, so I knew there had to be some hard-to-find materials that would make the burns worth it.
I'm gonna wait till the next explosion and then go. Alright, here we go. Here we go, here we go. It should be right there. Oh yeah, we are gaming. Dude, it kind of keeps going down. And I don't have the oxygen to keep... Wait. Oh, diamonds. Okay, gotta make this quick. Okay. And we're out of here. Oh my god, my sinuses have completely cleared trying to do this. I'm gonna wait because I don't want to get blown up.
Between drowning or becoming part of a reverse crab boil, I had to time my exit pretty carefully, and you can imagine my relief when I finally made it back.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, we got some diamonds. I think I need to come back with... I need to come out with more oxygen or something, because that place kept going down. I don't know. I didn't see any more oxygen plants, so... Jesus. Oh. Okay. Oh.
By day 10, I was bored of living in an eye tube, so I put that multi-purpose room blueprint to good use and set one up nearby. The trenches were great, so I wasn't planning on moving anywhere, but I needed to upgrade for my starter home. Inside, I set up the basics, some lockers, a fabricator, and even a couple of pots to begin building my shrub nut trade empire. I crafted a depth module for my sea truck and also put down this modification station to upgrade my regular knife to the thermoblade. Now, I had two choices: investigate the architect artifact or follow Margaret's signal. I opted for the artifact because aliens, so I headed over there, not realizing that it brought me right back to, you guessed it, the root caves. With the sea truck, I was actually way more confident in exploring deeper this time. So after a series of expert sea truck piloting maneuvers, easy, 70 meters down that way. Oh geez, maybe I should just not. No, wait, no, I can. Still good. I found myself face to face with Artifact X3J. Alan seemed appreciative of the effort, emphasizing that this was all somehow helping him reconnect with his network.
I hope you will continue to search for more of these.
Great. While I was down here, I did a quick scope of the area, and it was a good thing I did because I came across the sea monkey nest with the final piece of the laser cutter tool. Oh, hey buddy. Oh, he gave me something. Very nice. How do I... Okay, we got the...
New blueprint synthesized.
We got a laser cutter, which would be nice. Perfect. At base, I made the laser cutter, then began my journey south towards Maggie's location. I feel like I'm in Leviathan land. There's things swimming about in the water over there that... Oh, Jesus Christ. No, get out. There you go. Ram ya. Oh. Cryptosuchus. That can't be right. I think using the sea truck offensively is actually busted. I did a pit stop near these thermal vents because they were just covered with lithium ore, which I had a feeling I'll need a lot of later. It was around this time that my PDA let me know of a vessel called the Mercury 2, which was inoperative. Taking a closer look, I could see what was left of the ship itself, and to call it inoperative would be quite the understatement. Pulling up to the side of the wreck, I could see a large open entryway on the side of it. I wasn't particularly enthused at the idea of swimming into a sunken spaceship, but I headed in against my better judgment anyways. I came across this sealed blast door, which I promptly cut a kangaroo-sized hole to swim through. Oh wow. There is a lot here. I just don't want to be stuck in here and drown. I'm gonna try to keep track of the... Wait, parallel processing unit fragment. 1 of 3, do I need that? While exploring, I came across logs of the crew of the Mercury 2, with some recordings referring to gigantic ice worms burrowing in the ice. And while I probably should have been more concerned, I actually had bigger problems at hand. My anxiety was at an all-time high. Clearly, there were tons of rooms and areas to explore here, but the Mercury 2 was a bit of a maze, and I had to be careful not to stray too far away from my sea truck. Fortunately, there were some oxygen plants, and I was able to get far enough into the ship to find this locked panel, which had yet another parallel processing unit. Of oxygen. Uh-oh. I think I'm lost. 60 seconds is fine. We can figure it out in 60 seconds, but I do not know. Hold on. Okay. Dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think I got everything. I don't want to be in there anymore. I continued onwards towards the marker, and the blue water turned into this yellowish green. I had found myself in yet another biome. Oh, okay. Yep. Don't mind me. Hey, don't mind me, guys. Just, wow, that's... This was called the Lily Pad Caves, and there were quite a few scannables for sea truck upgrades, like this aquarium module, as well as a horsepower upgrade that I found in the sea monkey nest. Oh, and there was also this upper Lily Pad Island area, which I was curious to check out. Is there anything special about these ones?
There is a large anomalous mass of rock.
Oh my god. Holy shit. I think those are friendly. Whales are friendly. Yep, I lost a solid pair of pants that day, but that wasn't gonna keep me from investigating the next waypoint. This area was beautiful. Sure, most importantly, rubies, but there were other things here too. glowing plants, corals that look like flowers, floral corals if you will, and even a small colony of neighborhood-friendly sea monkeys. Whatever materials I needed in the future, this place would likely have it.
Okay, I remember the gel sacks in the last game being really important. I'm gonna grab one seed of it.
I also picked up a good number of tech fragments from the sea monkey nests, like this ultra-high capacity oxygen tank. I could tell on my map that this place was extensive, which, by the way, wasn't good news given that I still had no idea where to go to find Marguerite.
There it is. Okay, here's the human light. That is not a plant. This is not a plant. That's definitely person. Put that there. Let me scan this. I think I already have this actually.
For once, I was onto something. Following the light posts, I headed deeper and deeper into the lily pad caves. That is until...
Warning. Maximum depth reached.
Okay.
Didn't I tell you to stay away?
From what? I don't even know who you are.
Marguerite Maida's the name. You're on
Marguerite
my turf.
Maida.
Great. Can I come in and warm up?
What part of go away do you not understand, Altera?
I'm not with Altera.
I'm gonna get shot.
I didn't want to keep Marguerite waiting, so I knew I had to press on, even if it meant leaving the sea truck behind.
Oh yeah, here's something.
This was Marguerite's base, and I made sure to scan this moon pool, this glass dome, and the large room fragment. I scanned this customized prawn suit, but unfortunately it didn't actually unlock the blueprint. I climbed up the ladder and headed through a hallway to open up this bulkhead, bracing myself to get shot.
I'm gonna get blasted.
I told you to stay off my land.
Marguerite was still convinced I was with Altera, but I explained I was just looking for information on what happened to my sister Sam.
If you're not Altera, why don't you disable that damn tracking satellite tower instead of barging into my sea base? Maybe once Altera's off my back, I'll remember something about your sister.
So she does know my sister?
I scanned this test module fragment, the doodad I would later use to shut down the Delta Station radio tower. Looking at the ingredients list, I realized that this was what the parallel processing units were for. I was still missing the third piece, but we'll come back to that later. I also picked up this Snow Fox piece and perimeter defense upgrade for my sea truck. Marguerite had logged her adventures after what happened in the Reaper attack, claiming that after she killed it, she used its floating body as shelter and food until she drifted to the Arctic. I wouldn't have believed it, but nope, turned out that Marguerite just had more plot armor than a JoJo because I saw proof of her exploits in the form of this Reaper skull she kept.
See you later. Okay, not to get too crazy, but there is a path down here. Oh, that looks steep.
I picked up this water filtration suit and then also the spy pingling, which should sound familiar because this was the project Sam was working on.
There's more stuff down there. Okay. I don't want to drown.
In my sea truck, I tried figuring out the way back to base. However, I stumbled across more of these human lights, which were not the same ones to Maggie's house.
Oh, hold on. What is this? This is a different... Wait, where is this? This is a different base.
I scanned these exterior grow beds for my base, then scanned this glass dome, and then headed inside. This was Altera's Omega base, and there were actually a ton of clues as to what really happened leading up to Sam's death. I came across logs between Sam and her romantic interest Danielle.
Tired of losing to me?
Ouch. What if I've been letting you in so I could see you smile?
Cute. But I don't believe it. There are easier ways to make someone smile.
Who, in a dramatic plot twist, was, researching the Kara bacteria by using an infected but frozen Leviathan specimen. No. Okay, not gonna lie, Danielle did sound pretty cute, so I probably could have looked past this short-sighted science experiment. But Sam?
Are you mutating Kara bacterium from the frozen Leviathan? Here? In this lab?
Please, don't ask me any more questions.
I don't think I need to.
In the meantime, it seemed like Altera had conducted an investigation as to why the Omega base looked like this. After all, there was a large gaping hole inside the reactor room, to which I suspect Marguerite had something to do with this one. Regardless, more will be revealed, and it was time for me to head back home. I had picked up a ton of awesome habitat blueprints, and well, I had grand plans in mind. No longer would I be subjugated to live in spherical squalor. Behold, the pinnacle of engineered corners and straight edges, the large room. Okay, I thought I had a more dramatic name than that. Anyways, I started setting up the basics for the new base, along with these new inner divider walls for some feng shui. To be an expert survivalist, I had to have a solid green thumb. 2, in fact, 1 for each of these exterior grow beds I put down. Then I began this slow, long, and painful process of transferring everything from the old base to the new one. While doing so, however, I came across this blueprint for the rebreather, to which I said,
Wait, I'm just now finding the rebreather?
yeah, having the rebreather probably would have been useful during a couple of those earlier close calls. But I digress. I set up the bioreactor for infinity power and did some creepvine gardening to get the materials for crafting the rebreather.
Can't believe I can't believe oh my god.
There was also something called a sea truck dock, which after some underwater Jenga, I got set up. Clearance would probably be an issue later, but the good news was that the dock would actually both auto repair and charge my sea truck while I had it parked inside.
Alright, so there are a few things. I need the ultra high capacity tank, but maybe more importantly, I need the parallel processing unit. If I remember correctly, I found them at the shipwreck. You may have to go back for that. What do?
Okay, I actually noticed there was a nearby alien artifact, this time seemingly way down in the caverns below my base. I had bad memories of going down there before, but if I wanted any hope of getting Alan out of my brain, I'll have to risk it and head deeper in this time.
Artifact's 300 meters that way. Okay.
Warning, maximum depth reached.
Oh, that's about as deep as we can go. I really would rather not. Maybe we need another depth module.
This was about as far as my little sea truck would go, and I, very reluctantly, disembarked to venture into the dark blue waters via Sea Glide. The bad news was that these caverns were a sea truck graveyard, and evidence of sunken sea trucks littered the floor, clearly a sign I probably shouldn't be down here. But the good news was that I could scan all that scrap to upgrade my own sea truck, assuming I'd make it out of here.
Okay, here's something.
Another site found. Perhaps its data will tell me something useful.
This is not it though.
I have collected enough data to extrapolate the location of a component necessary to assemble my body. I will provide a signal.
Great, thank you. That was not it. But I got a body piece somewhere. You know what's crazy is I think it goes deeper.
I was definitely right about that one. At the lowest level, I came across these geothermal vents where I picked up a ton of valuables, specifically...
Look at all these diamonds. Dude, I'm gonna drown. Wow, this place might actually kill me. Alright, let's go back.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find the alien artifact that I was tracking, and besides the diamonds, sea truck parts, and the aggressive fauna here, that was about all this place had to offer. Back at base, I expanded a bit more by putting down another large room as well as this moon pool. I knew if I wanted to find more artifacts, I'd have to venture a bit further beyond the cozy chasm I called home. Heading a bit southeast, I came across some more caverns that looked like it would lead towards the alien artifact.
Oh wow, this looks
The artifact you found contains traces
different.
of information suggesting what has become of my people.
Okay, great. Can we scan this? Okay, I found another thing. This is also not the thing that I'm trying to get to. The other thing, Q59 is way deeper.
Technology acquired.
Or cyclotron.
During my quest for more alien artifacts, I came across another missing piece of the Mercury 2. I wasn't looking forward to another claustrophobic maze of a disintegrating ship, but this one proved worth visiting because I cut through the sealed door to find the third and final fragment of the parallel processing unit.
Now I just need to build the test override module, and I can disable that satellite tower.
Yep.
Now, below this segment of the Mercury 2, I found another downward cavern tunnel. As I ventured into it, I came across a system of purple volcano vents and eventually found...
Okay, I think we've come across something.
This artifact
Warning,
could provide useful
maximum depth
information.
reached. Hull damage imminent.
I can visualize a location where we may find an important component for my body. The image is hazy, but I'm sure it is correct. A stark surface landscape, dangerously cold. Curved spires stretch to the sky.
As if contending with the horrors of the sea below weren't enough, I apparently will also have to venture into the miserably cold snowscape above. Still, for now, I had found yet another set of alien artifacts. This one was a fossil excavator, which I scanned, as well as this room-like structure where I traded this titanium ore for this green infinity stone.
Honestly, I don't see any oxygen plants. My ship can't go any lower. So I think I need to upgrade the dive module. I think that's like the next step.
Okay, there were a lot of things I could do to upgrade my sea truck. By constructing more compartments to go behind the main cabin, I would essentially continually add to it, a bit like some sort of aquatic mecha caterpillar. Now, much like a caterpillar, I do have a voracious appetite for loot, and I always found that my sea excursions were limited by how long it was until my inventory got full. So my first sea truck upgrade was the storage module. Now, getting it to latch onto the main cabin was a bit tricky, but after some trial and error...
Oh, wait. There we go. There we go. Why is this thing... Oh. Locker. Honestly, guys, this doesn't seem like a lot of storage.
I still had a small list of things I had to do. Make the parallel processing unit, which would then be used for the test module, to then shut down the radio tower for Marguerite, as well as visit more alien sites for Alan. I actually had the materials for the parallel processing unit already, but the real issue was diving deep enough for those alien artifacts. I decided at this point to focus on getting the depth module upgrade for the sea truck, which required synthetic fibers, which in turn required
spiral plant clipping. I have not seen any spiral plants. This might take me a while. The only place where I knew there was a lot of plants was Margaret's like last known location. That place had a lot of plants. Are these are ragged pitcher plants? Nope. I don't see anything spirally looking. These are not okay.
I spent a good while scanning every plant-like looking thing on the way to Marguerite's neck of the ocean. At last, I had returned, the network of caverns filled with aquatic flora. Despite the not spiral plants I found, it wasn't a total waste though. There were sea monkey nests that had sea truck upgrade fragments, plenty of rubies, the nutritious but not delicious antenna fruits, and gel sacks. Following the caverns a bit more, it led me back to the fossil extractor site. I was a bit disappointed that I had just done a big circle until I saw something in the corner of my eye.
Wait. Could that be spiral? Hold on. Spiral plants.
Alright, can we just talk about how this looks nothing like a spiral nor a plant? It honestly looks more like some sort of cone-shaped fan coral, but anyways, spiral plant in hand. I also came across some uraninite, useful for kickstarting my nuclear program later. Listen, I know it may sound drastic, but I consider this the most humane way to clear out those brute sharks near my base.
Honestly, I would go deeper. I really would. Oh my god, I thought that was a giant Leviathan. I would go deeper, it's just I don't have any more oxygen plants. And I don't want to drown, so we gotta head back. Oh my god.
On day 19, I learned that trying to park your sea truck with modules into a moon pool wasn't a good idea.
Oh wait, oh, it hit the edge of this.
Then I spent some time planting and growing these spiral plants I had worked so hard to find. Unfortunately, it'll take me a while to grow these before I could harvest them, so in the meantime, I built the parallel processing unit, and then with that, put together the test override module. Next, I got to working on some aesthetic upgrades to the base.
Hopefully this doesn't blow up my base. let's take a look. That blows up a little bit in my base. Hey, that's okay, because we can reinforce it with... Right here. Reinforce. Take a look at this. It's a nice view. What do you think? Pretty nice.
After that, I set up the vehicle upgrade console, made a water filtration suit for an endless supply of perfect body temperature water, and finally put together the upgraded Sea Truck Dive Module Mark II. With the test override module, I didn't want to keep Marguerite waiting any longer, so I decided to head over to the Delta station to finally shut down the radio tower.
Connect the test override module. Okay. Plug that in. Wow, that's a nice big cable. Enter test mode.
Do it. Please work.
Yay, it's done. Margaret should be happy. Oh, she's calling. Great.
All right, Altera. You win this round. Come find me at my greenhouse. I'm about a kilometer east of your position up on an iceberg. I have a present for you.
What kind of present are we talking about? Listen, I'm married. I'm a married man. Whoa. Reclaimed water. Ooh, I thought it would just automatically give me water, but I drink it out of these little baggies. Purified reclaimed body water. Am I drinking my own?
Now that I can dive a bit deeper with the Sea Truck, it was time to go hunting for some alien artifacts. I went back down into those caverns below my base just to double check I didn't miss some tunnel that went towards an alien artifact. Or, well, that was the plan until...
Oh, Jesus! Oh! Holy cow, freaking jump scare. Yep. Hey, not so tough now, are ya? Come on for round 2, bucko. What am I dealing with? What is this thing? Squid shark. Yeah, that thing is really sussy.
I wanted to scan every Leviathan in the game as part of 100%ing below zero, and well, technically the squid shark was my first scanned Leviathan. It even says in the databank entry that it's a Leviathan class predator, though on a smaller scale, so I'm gonna say it counts. And you know, why stop at 1 when you can scan 2? The Leviathan scanning spree didn't end there, so on day 25, I also went ahead and scanned this glow whale. Next, I headed towards the signal for alien artifact PK8, which took me a bit more eastward this time. I couldn't see further out than 10 feet or so, so I was starting to feel a bit uneasy as my thalassophobia crept in.
Lovely. Now, you may be thinking...
I ducked into this inactive volcano, and it would seem I was safe from whatever that massive looming shadow was. I scanned the alien ground sampler, checking off PK8 from my list. On the way out, I made sure to hug the seafloor as much as I could, heading to the next artifact, until I had an idea.
Also, I do have some intrusive thoughts, like where is the void? I feel like I've been kind of exploring, I just haven't seen the edge yet. This is very voidy.
Warning. Entering ecological dead zone. The prospect for survival is fast approaching zero.
I hear something. Oh, what was that? Oh, what is that? Okay. Yep. Hey. Heard?
Okay guys, come on, it wouldn't have been a Subnautica video without at least one trip to the dead zone. Though, now that I think about it, I probably would have been crushed if I lost my hardcore save while attempting something this stupid. Either way, it was time to track down this alien body cache, and after following the signal, I found myself back at...
So I believe this is where Margaret's base was. But we're gonna be going a little bit deeper this time. Just a little bit deeper. Ooh, this is giving me lava zone flashbacks. He breathes fire?
Alan let me know that he sensed a component nearby, so at least I was on the right track. I also came across these glowy orbs, which I realized were flowering spores, something I actually needed for benzene.
These shrooms also look important. I remember from the last game, they were... Hold on, I think it was... Yeah, hydrochloric acid. Just grab some of these real quick.
I ventured further into the orangey anemone aquatic wonderland, but I kept my eye out for any massive loomy shadows down here. After a while, I found these alien light posts, which I followed further and further down into the shroomy caverns. As far as leviathans, well, the only thing big enough to be a threat down here was the squid shark named Susan.
Wow, that's really sussy. Really sussy.
As I started approaching the 650-meter limit, I came across an alien force field. Once inside, I could see it was some sort of Zen garden with a pretty nice serene waterfall and some bonsai trees.
Okay, that is artifact, architect, skeletal structure.
With that, I secured the first of 3 body parts I needed for Alan. I jumped back into the sea truck and said goodbye to Susan on my way out. I ended up having to explore around a few times, and the giant shrooms that all looked the same didn't help. Okay, sure, I had unlimited oxygen within the safety of my sea truck, but it was still a bit unsettling to say the least.
Actually, wait, this looks different.
Once outside, I spotted another piece of the Mercury 2, and after probing around for an opening...
Wait. Prawn suits. That's actually what we've been looking for. All right, let's see. Okay, yep, there's a little oxygen plant. Some fish.
This ship fragment seemed quite a bit bigger than the previous ones I've run into. Here I found another prawn suit fragment and a drill arm, a reinforced dive suit, and after cutting myself a new entryway, I came across this large room with an alien aquarium that I could scan. Definitely handy for my creature egg collection later.
We've done some scans, and while there aren't a lot of mineral resources on this planet, there is decent biodiversity.
I don't want to drown.
The crew of the Mercury 2 left plenty of voice logs about their time here, and I felt like as I explored the now flooded ship, I got to know them a bit more, in a way. But it was also tough to concentrate on what they're saying because...
I'm trying to listen and also not drown. I don't know, this is very nerve-wracking. Because I am not 100% sure where I am. I think it's this way. Out, right? Right? Yep. This way out. Okay, let's reset. Just mentally reset and try not to drown.
Hopefully, whatever didn't want us on the planet doesn't mind when we leave.
Ma'am, boy, do I got news for you.
By now, I had explored just about every corner of the ship, but I still didn't have enough prawn suit fragments to be able to build one for myself. I decided to explore a bit around the area, eventually finding myself in front of a
big jellyfish. Okay. Don't suppose if one of y'all have a prawn suit, do you?
The vent garden harvests geothermal energy to nurture the life that grows within.
I guess I assumed anything Leviathan-like would try to eat me, but these vent gardens were technically also Leviathans, which I could have and should have scanned for my 100% challenge. In either case, below these vent gardens were a vast network of geothermal vents. I was hoping for more prawn suit parts, but instead, I came across this thermal plant fragment along with another alien artifact, the ground sampler.
This site is one of some significance. Its data will assist us on our quest.
Next, I headed over to another vent garden where I found more geothermal vents. This second one actually went way deeper, bringing me to this more open cavern area where I stumbled across the remnants of an old Altarian outpost. There wasn't too much here, but I did manage to pick up this booster tank blueprint.
Wait, this is wait. Okay, we just made a circle. This is Margaret's area, I think. Hold on, pause. I think there's another way. Curiosity is killing me. Okay, so I think there's actually more down here, dude.
Thanks to the upgrades, I can now go deeper in, and I saw Marguerite's base basically sat at an intersection of tunnels leading to uncharted waters further down. I followed this passageway until I noticed something I hadn't seen before. Crystals as big as my sea truck.
Is this the end game? Hold on, I see something too here. Is this end game? Am I not supposed to be... This feels really bad.
Every cell in my body was telling me I wasn't supposed to be here. Still, there was kyanite, but you know, if there's one thing I know about 4546B, the shinier and rarer the loot, the worse whatever is guarding it. I was also pretty much maxed out in storage space, both in my inventory and on my sea truck's storage module, so this was a good time to probably head back anyways.
Oh wow, it just keeps going. Okay, yeah, okay.
Proceed with caution. A Leviathan class creature is near.
We're gonna drop some stuff on that base. We'll be right back.
I in fact did not go right back. None of Alan's waypoints were down there, and Marguerite was still waiting for me at her greenhouse, which last I checked wasn't 1,000 meters below sea level in a crystalline cave filled with leviathans. In the meantime, I crafted the reinforced diving suit and headed back out. I was trying to track down alien artifact Q59, and after a bit of exploration around Delta Station, I came across some sort of chasm. At the end of it was a half-opened gate, which was ever so conveniently too small for my sea truck to fit through. This was what looked like some sort of old Altarian mine. Besides this oxygen plant, some gems, and some abandoned equipment, I could tell the real goods were down below in this massive mining shaft. I couldn't see the bottom, and I knew the further I went, the further I was from my sea truck. If there wasn't an air pocket or an oxygen plant down there, it'd be game over for my hardcore challenge.
More oxygen plants, please. Okay, I see one.
There were even more things to scan and loot, but by now I was in way too deep to be able to turn around to refill my oxygen at the sea truck. Though luckily there was an oxygen plant at the far end.
This is so dicey, dude.
Fortunately, I realized there were 2 oxygen plants I could juggle oxygen between, being able to remain down here pretty much indefinitely in this spot if I had to. And even better, I came across not one, but the 2 remaining prawn suit fragments I needed. I took a bit of a gamble and went further in, eventually discovering this massive mining sites with large ores.
This looks like it's just a mining area. I guess if you have a prawn suit, you could just bring it down here and mine for a bit, but I am honestly, I don't know, I feel like I have shortness of breath just being down here. Is there oxygen down here? There is oxygen down here, okay.
Another site found, but I cannot yet tell whether the others survived. The network is indicating more of my people's technology, but the images I'm receiving are fragmented, repeating.
Great.
I am struggling to locate them precisely.
Fragmented images? Why would that happen?
I can only theorize that the
They're
locations are deep and shielded by a refractive material.
Oh,
Perhaps
jeez.
amongst large crystal formations.
Oh, jeez, we gotta go back.
I figured I'd have to return there at some point, but I didn't think it'd be so soon. For now, I said goodbye to the mines and headed back up the shaft towards the safety of the sea truck.
The network I hoped to rejoin may no longer exist. I cannot feel it.
There could be a million reasons for that.
Alan was having a, in my opinion, small but manageable existential crisis with the realization that he may indeed be the last architect. But the next step towards getting answers? Back down to the crystal caves.
Oh. Oh, we good? Okay. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big boy. It's a really big boy.
Following the path through the caverns below the vent gardens, I made it back. I hadn't gone too deep down here before, so this time I made sure to scoop up as much of the goodies as I could. First, I nabbed up more kyanite, and then came across this magnetite, another valuable resource I hadn't seen before. However, there was this ever-present, uneasy aura that enveloped the watery depths here, and while picking up kyanite was nice, I saw something flicker in the murky distance.
Oh, that is something a little bit bigger than I have seen. It's gonna go really slowly. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, what is that?
Of an important item belonging to my people. I will share its location.
Oh, please don't be there.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Okay, it's back this way. Okay, I also see some kyanite. It can't be this underground area cannot be that big because this guy's doing laps. All right, he should be coming down. Let's see if he notices me. Oh, fuck. Oh, oh my God. kind of blocked. He's kind of blocked by the crystals. Dude, we're so good. Oh. Dude, I don't think the electric pulse hurt him at all. Okay, we gotta get out of here. Oh, wow. It goes deeper. I think it goes much deeper.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I couldn't go any further because I had reached the limits of my sea truck at 650 meters, and I was once again at the mercy of getting another depth upgrade, which required nickel, which was actually something I hadn't found much of. But before turning around, I figured if I'm risking imploding my sea truck or getting eaten by Leviathan, I should at least line my pockets with as much loot as I could.
This is greedy. 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 Hug the edge. Hug the edge. Oh my god. Oh, it's okay. I have the perimeter defense. No, I can pin myself here. I think this is where I was. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, how about oh my god. Does that do anything? Okay, that actually worked that time. Okay, up, right? Up is good.
I took that last close call as a sign to go ahead and nope on out of there. I went upwards past Marguerite's base to the shallower waters near Delta Station and eventually back home. Once inside, I put the lithium and uraninite towards building this nuclear reactor as well as some reactor rods. Now, if I wanted to be able to harvest the larger ore deposits and possibly do battle with the Leviathan down in the crystal caves, I'll need to get a prawn suit online. I was a bit sad I couldn't fit it with a sword like Marguerite's, but I saw there were some torpedo arms which sounded pretty formidable too. Oh, and I had just enough nickel to upgrade to the Mark III depth module for the sea truck, raising its maximum depth to 1,000 meters. I headed over to my original pod where my mobile vehicle bay was and constructed the docking bay as well as the prawn suit itself. I used the fabricator in my pod to make the prawn suit depth module and steered the docking bay to the back of my sea truck.
All right, prawn suits. There we go. Awesome. He just kind of hitches right in the back.
I took a look at the menu to get a better idea of what I could fit onto my prawn suit. There was the torpedo arm along with 2 types of torpedoes, gas torpedoes and vortex torpedoes. All that sounded incredibly awesome, and I quickly upgraded my prawn suit and loaded up the arm with as many torpedoes as it could carry. If the Leviathan thought I'd be an easy meal, it had another thing coming. As a precaution, I decided to head down below my base to these squid shark caverns to take the bronze suit for a quick field test.
Did it work? Is it working? He sounds like he's to my left. Wow, the rockets are so slow. Oh my god, why is it so slow? Hold on. I feel like the rockets, the torpedoes, are not it, bro. I don't think this is gonna be able to kill a Leviathan. Let's refuel. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with that Leviathan. I think we just gotta try to sneak by him or something.
I wasn't sure how I was going to defeat the Leviathan, so for now, I decided to put it on my list of things I should do now, but will revisit eventually. There was one other thing I had to do though, Marguerite's prize. I had forgotten until now, but she was waiting for me in her greenhouse about 1 kilometer east of the Delta Station. Heading east for a bit, the seascape suddenly became filled with large icebergs that formed islands that stretched above and beyond the ocean surface.
No, she didn't tell me which iceberg. And it's the worst possible weather out right now, so I can't even see anything. This looks kind of... Wait, I see a light. Hold on, I see a light.
This island matched the description of being about 1,000 meters out from Delta Station, and with the lights, it clearly had signs of human activity. Since I've been underwater this whole time, I had forgotten about the frigid cold while venturing on land. Luckily for me, there was this cave with some fevered pepper plants.
Ooh, this is a really good food. This actually gives a lot of water. Hold on.
Now, I'm definitely one for the spice life, so I packed my pockets with as many of these peppers as I could carry, since eating them would keep me from freezing to death. Though how tomorrow's bowel movements go remains to be seen. The next morning, I followed this path upwards, coming across...
Perfect. This looks like a base. All right. I'm gonna get shot.
Damn satellite hasn't passed by in a while. I guess that was your doing.
Marguerite finally admitted she did in fact know Sam and pointed me to a PDA log with more information. Before I got to that though, I went ahead and scanned her grow beds along with picking up a few samples of every vegetable and fruit she was growing. My reward for disabling the Altarian radio tower. Eventually, I did review the log, which was a conversation between Sam and Marguerite where Sam revealed she had apparently also made an antidote for the Kara bacterium, which I was a little skeptical since it required an entire game to do last time, but whatever. Marguerite then proceeded to fan the flames a bit and convinced Sam to go from just hiding the antidote somewhere to full on using explosive charges to seal off the frozen infected Leviathan.
And you gotta hit the lab too, or there's just no point. Actually,
The cave.
you know what? Let me take care of that one. It'll be fun.
Okay, so Margaret blew up that one research base.
Once I finished at Marguerite's, I headed back down to my sea truck. By the way, I had seen a green glow on another iceberg across the way, so I headed over there next.
That looks alien. Hold on.
This was an alien satellite, but upon scanning it, Alan didn't seem that impressed. In fact, he didn't say anything at all, actually.
Also, I gotta be careful because this is basically like being underwater, except cold version. I gotta watch my temperature.
I headed west towards the alien artifact Z13. This trip took me basically across the entire map, but after the long trip, I soon found myself in a new biome, and I was surrounded by a herd of floating giant jellyfish. Night was falling by this point as I got closer, and I could see the faint outline of a bridge as well as an icy shoreline. Once on land, I headed into this dark cave to finally find Z13, which turned out to be an energy generator. However, like the satellite, Alan didn't have much to say about this one either. I had a suspicion Alan was still having a silent mental breakdown, so I let him be. Coming all the way out here wasn't a complete waste, however. The next morning, I noticed there was actually an entire other side of the iceberg to explore. Here, I found some steam vents.
Okay, this will warm me up.
Nearby, I also saw signs of some Altera research equipment, no doubt left behind by the last crew out here. There were some basic supplies like water and batteries, but nothing to keep my body temperature from constantly taking a nosedive. Still, the only way was forward, and I headed down this valley, hoping it'll lead me somewhere.
Altera facility beacon detected nearby. Unique identifier. Phi Robotics Center.
Dude, the cold is gonna get me, man. I'm actually a little bit worried because I don't see any pepper plants anywhere. Oh wait, oh, I said that.
I took the time to restock on peppers and enjoyed the relative warmth of this cave before heading back out. Further down, I found more evidence of civilization, a pair of two large half-open doors leading to
Phi Robotics. This is where Sam worked.
This looks terrible.
Things were in complete disarray. There was this handy Snowfox hoverpad fragment that I quickly scanned up before heading into the Phi Robotics lab itself. No one was home, but I came across a few supplies along with some PDA recordings of Sam expressing some deep concerns of the team studying the Kara-infected dead Leviathan. Her boss, Zeta, promised to pass along these concerns to upper management, but reminded Sam to focus on her Pengling bots and Snowfox development, which of course clearly worked out. I also came across Sam's room, which looked like a complete mess, as well as this cold suit, which should be quite the upgrade for my wetsuit when it comes to below zero temperatures.
New blueprint synthesized.
Yes, I need that so I don't freeze. Oh, it's a set. The helmet, gloves, Snowstalker fur.
I wanted to borrow some clippings from Marguerite's half-domesticated Snowstalker, but that probably wouldn't have ended well. Behind the base itself, I could see they had parked it nearby this deactivated Architect teleporter. With just about everything here explored and no way to turn on the teleporter, I headed back out.
Nope, this seems about it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I was like, oh my god, Slender Man. I could see another valley to the right, and even though I didn't have the cold suit just yet, I felt like a bit of a gambling man and did some investigating. What did I find? Well, I think it paid off because I picked up the final piece of the Snowfox in this cave.
How much peppers do I have? This just seems like a terrible idea. I think I'm gonna die out here, dude.
There's basically two weather patterns out here in the glacial basin. freezing, and even freezier freezing. My experience was basically hopping from cave to cave, chomping down on peppers, and trying to avoid hailstorms. However, there was more to worry about than just the weather here.
That one does not look tame. That one does not look tame. That's definitely not Margaret's. Where the heck am I? All of this just seems terrible.
Alan had stopped saying anything for a few days, and the snowy no man's land just seemed to go on forever. The one good thing was in these caves, I basically had an endless supply of fevered peppers to gobble down, so I could theoretically survive out here forever.
I have a suspicion that these areas will need the penglings. What do these frost plants do? Hold on.
What I was referring to was Sam's invention, the spy penglings, small robotic penguins that could fit in those small crevices. By now, I felt like I had explored a good portion of this Arctic maze, and investigating whatever was inside these smaller crevices might somehow lead me to the next step on where to go.
Okay, there's a guy right there.
Dangerous weather approaching. Seek shelter.
Right. We're gonna run, 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 we're gonna run. It's still chasing me. Okay, great. It's still chasing. Lose aggro for fuck's sakes! No! No, 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 no. Knife, 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 knife. Yep, yep, yep. Oh my god. Oh my god. Heal. The body literally slipped into the ground. Ooh, okay. I need to find a cave. I need to find a cave now. I might break a leg, but I think it's worth it. Oh.
I realized that besides my throbbing ankle, I had done a complete 360 and was back at Phi Robotics again. I got the sense that getting the Pengling bot was probably what I should be working towards, so I headed back to finally put one together. On the way, I stopped by that abandoned bridge and noticed something on the ground.
There is something of significance beyond this bridge.
Oh.
It was important to Ultera, but more important to me.
Will it help us build you a body?
I believe so, yes.
Oh. Okay, just across the bridge. Maybe this will work. Hold on. Ready? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
At the base, I did a couple of much needed upgrades. I put down some interior grow beds to start my habanero farm, then finally went over and got the alien containment set up so I could start incubating the creature eggs I've been carrying. I was still a far ways off from getting every single creature egg as part of my 100% challenge, but this was a good start. After that, I did some gardening and made some hydraulic fluid for the bridge, as well as constructed the Pengling bot to Sam's exact specs, thus another Steam achievement, well, achieved. Also, I thought I was going back to the Phi Robotics area, but I actually got confused and ended up on the wrong set of icebergs on the other side of the map. But detours, intentional or not, are rarely a waste of time out here, and I picked up a new creature egg as well as scanned this juvenile vent garden. I did eventually make my way back, but I saw I had forgotten to pack some peppers. I still didn't have the stalker fur needed to make the cold suit, so the top of my priority list was to find a cave. Along the way, I spotted this perfectly Pengling-sized hole, but
could you... If I freeze, I'm in some actual deep sh**. Alright, let's look for some peppers. Okay, I think I see some peppers. We're good. Hold on. Hold on. Let's climb. It's a big guy. It's okay. Yep. Dodge him. Stay behind him. Stay behind him. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, now I gotta get back. I see some peppers. I just gotta get to the peppers. Come on, man. Okay. Hey, guys. Wow, I think I killed your mom.
There were indeed plenty of peppers here, along with the snow stalker fur I needed for my cold suit. I also realized that I could have used the Pengling bot to harvest the snow stalker fur without killing the mother bear, but Let's just call it self-defense. This Snowstalker cave actually overlooked the smaller Pingling cave, and I positioned myself so I could still enjoy the warmth of the Snowstalker cave while I steered the bot to the Pangling cave. The Pangling bot was way clunkier than I anticipated, and it was a good thing I decided to do this from the safety of being indoors because...
Loading. Oh my god, that takes a while. That could kill me. That could straight up kill me. Yeah, coming in and out of that's actually kind of dicey. I could see a scenario where I'm hungry or freezing or thirsty or getting attacked, and I'm able to get out of that easily.
Luckily, doing this was pretty worthwhile because I came across a mysterious vial that Sam had stashed here. Upon closer inspection, I saw that it was the antibiotic that was meant to counter the Carabacterium. To make it, it required peppers and frost vase plants, which sounded way more straightforward than trying to get stem cell fluid from endangered Leviathan Queen's babies who was locked up in a sea prison 2,000 meters underwater.
Okay, I got parkour. Here we go, parkour. Here we go. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yep, what's up, buddy? Parkour.
I made sure to investigate every crevice using my newly acquired but somewhat maddening to use Pangling bot. I was probably super lucky with my first one because the others were mostly small stashes of common materials like quartz.
So, not all of them are that crazy useful. Oh wow, this is my character? What? That is actually kind of terrifying.
I lost track of time goofing off with the Pangling bot, and eventually I stumbled across a cave system that looked significantly different from the other ones. Following it, I was led to a clearing with these beautiful blossoming trees, and on the other side there was another cave system, but this one felt different.
What happened here?
I sense many things here. Death among them.
Oh, that is a really big boy. I don't think I've ever seen a Leviathan like that.
This must have been the frozen infected Leviathan that Altera had been studying. Judging by the PDA logs left behind, apparently Sam and Parvin were found dead beneath the ice rubble caused by an explosion, which was ruled as employee negligence.
This wasn't negligence. That's not Sam. This was something else.
I think Margaret convinced Sam to blow this place up and Sam got herself killed, man. And it didn't even work, because you could still get into the cave.
Taking the elevator up, I laid my eyes on the once mighty beast. Now completely dried out, yet still pretty well preserved. So well preserved, in fact, that the carapacios looked fresh, ready to cause another planet-wide disaster.
Best not touch that. Insert sample. I do have the antidote. Hold on. Oh, I think I left the antidote back in the car.
Yeah, that's my bad. Look, I didn't know I'd need it so soon, so I had stashed it on the sea truck. On the way out though, I came across a set of metal doors which led to Parvin's quarters. There wasn't anything too crazy in terms of loot, but listening to his logs to his family was pretty sad knowing what would end up happening to him down here. Anyways, one quick round trip later,
let's load this thing up. That looks a lot like Enzyme 42. Ooh.
I believe the antibacterial agent was effective. Without it, the bacteria could have spread. Now it cannot.
Let me get this straight. Why didn't Sam just inject the thing into the monster? Like, if the goal is to contain the bacteria, why not just use the antidote? Why did she stash the thing away in a cave? Why not just use the antidote instead of trying to blow up the cave entrance and then get which ended up having her getting squished? Am I understanding the story right? That doesn't make sense.
Now, I had just done that entire arc without ever making a cold suit or the snow fox, and if you remember, there was still that area on the other side of the broken hydraulic bridge, so I headed back to base to prepare. Anyways, it would appear that the mystery of what happened to Sam was concluded. I was a bit whelmed with the big reveal, to say the least.
I feel like Margaret's kind of at fault here. She's the one who like convinced Sam into blowing up the cave, which ended up collapsing on her. I mean, all right, time to make the snowsuit because it's been far too long.
The cold suit actually had 3 parts, so it was a good thing I had slaughtered the local snowstalker population for the fur I needed. Oh, and if you're wondering about my creature egg collection,
oh, also, yes, we, oh my god, they're the explodey guys?
Yeah, I didn't realize I'd come back to a small colony of crashfish, but just then I remembered I had another egg in the sea truck, which I dropped off in the aquarium. Next, I built the quantum locker, which after realizing I needed 2 of them and seeing how small the storage space was, I was beginning to realize it sounded way cooler than it was actually useful. Maybe I'm missing something here, but in the meantime, I put together a glorified to-do list of everything I'd need for this next above land adventure. It was time to claim my share of the frozen landscape. It was time to make an outpost.
I need so many things, dude. I need so many things to start a base. Okay. Well, my grocery list extends so far. What you see up there, it goes... There's more. My face cam is covering it. There's more.
Also, as a side note, I did have a close call with nearly drowning to death after venturing pretty far without realizing I hadn't equipped my oxygen tank. Out of all of the ways to die, I think that would have been such a stupid way to go out.
Why did I take that off? Why did I take that off? Holy cow, it was like 20 seconds. Good lord. No, I need 4, 5, 9, 10, 12. I need 12 titaniums. I need 12 titaniums for this project. I'd be mathing, dude.
Fast forwarding a bit here, but after a while I gathered up enough materials for a full base build and headed back out to the glacial basins. I put on my cold suit and went over to the bridge on day 46 to insert the hydraulic fluid to get it working again.
Perfect. We did it. Was that one of the things? Yep, that was one of the things.
The cold suit made a night and day difference when it came to dealing with the below 0 temperatures. However, my troubles weren't over yet.
I'm sensing interesting patterns to the northeast. It would be worth investigating. But be careful.
Of what?
I recall ravenous creatures tunneling beneath the ice.
Fair warning, I suddenly had the urge to instead build my base on the other side of the iceberg, next to that Altarian supply drop outpost. Now, I went straight for setting up with the large room, put up the fabricator inside, and even built the Snowfox hover pad. And, found out that apparently, besides mobility, the Snowfox also...
And we stay warm inside of it? I should have done this from the very beginning. Okay. Mistakes were made. I should have been using that. Wow. What I just did was like playing the game without a sea truck.
Okay, this wouldn't be the first nor the last time, but my math was off. And I had massively underestimated what was required to get the full Candy-Roo base experience going. The ensuing hour, or maybe it was hours, involved me using the prawn suit to harvest more minerals, but while I was out there, I finally realized,
oh, I never scanned this.
Therefore, checking off another one of the Leviathans I had to scan. Back at base, I got the power up and running by installing a nuclear reactor, adding a jump upgrade to the Snowfox, and even spent some time building an underwater accessible section to the base.
Nope. Oh, wait.
Oh. Next on the list was setting up the moon pool and sea truck docking station, but building an Arctic base wasn't the only to-do item. Much like delaying the production of my cold suit, I've been putting off other pretty important upgrades, like the ultra high capacity oxygen tank or various prawn suit mods. Specifically, I needed nickel, something I just never really came across much. After a while of searching around for large nickel deposits, I had to give up and looked up a guide. Apparently, nickel could be found, you guessed it, in those flowery caverns near Marguerite's base. There were also these creature eggs I hadn't seen before, which I picked up for the aquarium later. I swear, everything seemed to be found around here because, sure enough, I also picked up the last fragment I needed for the ultra high capacity tank.
Ultra high, oh, I just need lithium. Dude, that's easy. Yeah, That's easy. Okay, yeah. We'll grab some more nickel on the way out, but I think this has been a very successful expedition.
Also, there was even more things to discover in these caverns. Further in, I stumbled across another alien artifact, the Marine Life Analyzer. Next, I descended down into the Shroom Caves because I vaguely remembered seeing large yellowish ores down here from my last trip, but it turned out just to be gold. Going further in, I also came across these two snail-looking things, which were
creature egg, unidentified egg. Curious indeed. Let's get 2 of them.
At base, I put the creature eggs I've been finding into the alien containment. I also had enough materials now to build an ultra-high capacity oxygen tank, the Prawn Depth Module Mark II, the Prawn Suit Thermal Reactor, and the Sea Truck Afterburner upgrade. I also made the Tether Tool, a piece of hybrid gear that used alien technology that allowed me to instantly warp back to my sea truck. It did require an ion cube, but I had a feeling it'd be pretty handy, so it was time to pay my mobile vehicle bay a visit to make the teleportation sea truck module.
I don't remember if we have this one. Hold on. I don't remember if we have that one. We're just gonna grab it. Oh, sorry. Nope, I don't need it.
After the module was done cooking, it was time for the mandatory field test.
All right, so this is about 200 meters. Let's just see what happens. Oh, baby. That takes a little bit. Oh wow, and it drains so much of the power. 67%. Wow, it uses 1/3 of the power each time. Oh, no, no. I didn't mean to.
Great. The full day's worth of technological advancement and misadventure wasn't over yet. Remember the creature eggs I had put in earlier? Yep, that's right. I was going to be a father to...
You made a squid shark? I gotta see this. Oh, there he is. He's tiny. He is tiny. That's so cute. There's 2 of them in there.
Oh, and if you were curious about how the Arctic outpost was going, this is what it looked like. I had just about finished the underwater section, complete with the sea truck dock and moon pool.
All right, let's go see what's across this bridge. We are actually about 50 times more prepared than the first time going in.
Crossing the bridge, I remembered Alan had mentioned a body component being located on land, and since the Phi Robotics side of the glaciers didn't have it, it had to be somewhere out on this side. I stumbled across this Altarian outpost where there were logs of people using thumpers to distract massive burrowing ice worms. A bit like a snowy Shai-Hulud from Dune, though I had a feeling it probably wouldn't go great if I tried riding one.
Oh my god, what was that? I heard something burrow and come out from underneath me. But I didn't actually see it. Holy god.
Using the Snow Fox, I found this cave, which you would think would be good news, right? Relief from the elements, somewhere to relax. Well, as luck would have it, I was actually inside the tunnel system of whatever was burrowing around here.
I hear something. It's right around the corner. Totally fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, piloting through the tunnels is not it on the Snow Fox.
I explored a bit more and found this architect artifact, though upon scanning, Alan didn't really have much to say, which meant it wasn't exactly the component he was after. To make matters worse, on the morning of day 56...
Oh! Oh! What the heck was that? Oh my god, I thought I was dead. I thought I was gonna take fall damage and just die. Okay. I don't see anything that... Wait. Okay, this looks like it.
This was an architect teleporter, though it required an ion cube to be switched on. Behind it was the iconic elevator that we all know and love, and it led me to a sub-level underground where I could see more leftover Altarian gear scattered around, as well as this naturally occurring moon pool for sea trucks to access. Now, I didn't bring an ion cube with me, and the prospect of taking the long trip back to the main base seemed unavoidable, but then it hit me.
I wish I could just take the one out of my... Hold on, can I just take the one? Oh!
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I didn't mean to do that.
Well, it's out of
This thing's out of power now. Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm back at base. Okay. Maybe that was okay.
One round trip to the main base later, and I was back, this time with the ion cube in hand. Now, because I teleported, I actually left my snow fox behind. Unfortunately, this meant it burned through its power cell overnight, so I ended up having to go on foot for now.
Gotta find that original place. Oh, Jesus. Did it just eat a freaking snow stalker thing? This place is just a nightmare. Okay. Let's put this on there. Perfect.
As excited as I was to get a teleporter up and running, it actually just sent me over to the Phi Robotics area. Handy, sure, but given Alan's silence, it was not quite what we're after in terms of reconstructing his body. Thankfully, after about a half hour of searching in the seemingly endless ice maze, Alan had a hint.
Architect data patterns are so strong here. There is almost certainly vital information pertaining to my body construction nearby.
Great. Great. Glad to hear it, Alan.
Just because Alan finally decided to drop us a breadcrumb-sized clue did make things any easier. The good news was that I picked up this Snow Fox attack reduction module. The bad news, it was absolutely useless right now.
Oh, yeah, these things suck. They really suck. Can't tell if I'm getting closer. I can't tell if I'm. I think I just made a circle. It'd be great if Alan was like warmer, warmer. You know, colder, cold. You know.
If I had complained that the Phi Robotics area was confusing, I take it all back. This place was truly a headache. Between the constant jump scares with ice worms, caverns that all looked the same, and alien artifacts that were not what we were looking for, my search for the alien embodied component took way longer than it should have.
This looks different. Hold on. Nope. It's exact same. Okay. Never mind.
By the way, the ice worms, given their size, probably shouldn't be able to move around like that, and it started to make less and less sense to me. Leviathan physics normally wouldn't be something I'd care about, but I was at a loss at how I could get one to stand still long enough to get a scan off. Wandering aimlessly out there wasn't all bad because I stumbled across this weird looking creature egg that I've never seen before. I eventually headed more northeast, coming to an area that I hadn't been to yet. A mysterious trench with some architect cabling.
Hello?
Aha. I had stumbled across an old architect mine. It was littered with giant emeralds and abandoned machinery, but the real treasure was... Oh wait, architect component. One got crushed.
Ah, that is a rough way to go.
Yes, I would not enjoy being crushed while mining ion cube components.
The cold preserved the body well, but this isn't a big sample. Will it be enough?
Our tissues are pluripotent, derived from the DNA of various species, capable of changing form as necessary.
Ah, like stem cells. So what prevents you from, I don't know, ending up with hooves where your eyelashes should go?
That does not happen. At least not since the 4th iteration.
That is funny. They got a sense of humor. This game, they got a little sense of humor. Ah, and more ion cubes. Yep, I'm gonna need to bring my trusty prawn suit out here.
Also, I was a bit relieved because I found this dead ice worm that I could scan for the Leviathan entry, which, by the way, totally counts for the 100% challenge.
Let's get out of here. Let's leave. This place is all very awful. Yep, they're just bursting out of the ground now. Honestly, I should use my thumper, but oh my lord, I don't even want to stop. I don't even want to stop to get out of here.
I returned to base just in time for the morning sun, but I was pretty exhausted after not going to sleep since my crash landing here. So I built this super nice executive captain's quarters and took a nap. The view from this base was pretty awesome though, and I even felt inspired to build out this break room for the outpost.
Oh, snacks. Oh, it gives me some food.
Actually, I was so inspired that I ended up doing the same thing back at the main base.
Actually, one of the achievements is to install a jukebox, which we could actually do right now. Hold on. Let me get the layout. Let me get the layout.
With the jukebox down, I finished up the rest of the break room, being sure to add all of the extremely necessary appliances. Also, that creature egg from the glaciers turned out to be a blue trivalve, which was this weird looking cyclops lobster thing.
Look, our collection's looking pretty good.
I ended up heading over to the mobile vehicle bay to put together the fabricator module for my sea truck and swapped out the teleporter module. As I tell my wife, bigger isn't always better, so I wanted to keep my sea truck at a reasonable length. One quick trip down into the deep later, and I was back into the wondrous crystal caves, and I was still trying to figure out how I was going to go about round 2.
I hear him, but I don't see him. I also know I gotta go past him. And I also need to scan him. Okay, he should be like right around here somewhere. Huh, guess he's not home. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my. That, I did not need to see that. Uh-oh. Again? Scan? Scan? Scanning him is gonna be kind of tricky. Luckily, from what I can see, I think it was just him down here.
Between its speed, long scan time, and the risk of just getting eaten and losing my save, getting a proper scan off on the Shadow Leviathan was proving next to impossible. The basic strategy was shock, hop out, scan. I was nailing the first step, but the last two weren't going well. I debated on letting it destroy my sea truck and getting the scan that way, but getting stranded this deep didn't seem like a fun time. I took a quick breakdown in these trenches where I was safe from the Leviathan and mined up as much kyanite as I could carry.
The crystals in this environment are confusing my senses, and yet I feel certain there is something important below. A facility or a body component. Perhaps both. I cannot tell.
Oh, good, Alan. I'm glad we came all the way down here for you to, like, not be sure. We'll catch him on this side. Okay. You're gonna come? He's gonna come? Yep. There you go. I'm gonna hop out. I need to eject a lot faster. Come on. Hold on. Hold on. Holy sh... Where's my boat? Oh god, I'm one. Oh my god. Did I not bring any bandages?
I was one tentacle bite away from getting killed, and without heals, it was time to go. The Leviathan didn't make leaving exactly easy either.
He almost... Oh god. Oh god.
At base, along with plenty of first aids, I also crafted some ion batteries and ion power cells. I could tell this would be a long trip, and the last thing I needed was to run out of power while trying to shock a Leviathan. I also dropped off a couple of creature eggs that I had picked up. On the way back, I made a quick pit stop to the Lily Pad Islands to grab this creature egg before going down into the depths for round 3.
But if I remember correctly, there was a way to pin him. Yes, if I go down here. Uh-oh, I think he's on me. It's okay. And then... Oh, couldn't. It's okay. Getting the scan. Oh. Scan. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100! Holy God. Holy God. Shadow Leviathan. This is a massive 60-meter plus Leviathan that appears to be an odd convergence of several evolutionary offshoots. If you thought that was it for the Crystal Caves, well, that was just the beginning. Further in, I came across what I could only describe as a crystal hole, a crystal canal, if you will. Going down this canal led to a crystal pathway, which eventually led to a crystal clearing, and at the end of it, an architect base. This must be what Alan had been sensing. Please let there be no jump scares. I don't know if I can do a jump scare right now. At the end of this path was another large architect structure, this time housing the organ components for Alan's body. Yep, architect organs. Very pretty, though why in God's name would they ever put it down here, you know? The number one rule of 4546B is that if you don't know where to go deeper. And that was particularly true for the fabricator facility, a place where I could finally put together Alan's body. Now granted, I didn't have all of the ingredients, but since I was down here, I figured it'd be a good idea to familiarize myself with where it was before heading back. But of course, oh my god, there's another one? Alright, here we go. Come on, come on! Oh yeah, baby, oh yeah. Please, stop, I'm married. I kind of think we gotta come back. Oh wait, okay, I found the facility. Is this the, I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna do a quick check. Okay, is this the facility? Is this the facility?
Once you have used the fabricator to build each component, we can assemble them.
And then we can transfer you out of my head?
I am anticipating it as much as you are.
Yeah, this is indeed the spot. We just don't have a lot of stuff. After getting face hugged one more time, I was back in open water. I was a bit disoriented as to which specific opening I had come out of, but as I was getting my bearings... Oh, that's a big guy. Have I scanned you yet, sir? Okay, I can explain. Now you may think there's no way I would be trying to ram this thing to death with my sea truck so I can pull off a proper scan. And, well, actually, yeah, that was exactly what I was trying to do. Scan, I'm inside you. Ooh, I'm inside you. Alright, this guy doesn't seem that aggressive, but I do not want to hop out and risk it. I imagine doing this may take a while, but after surviving for this long, it felt much safer not to mess up my run by making a mistake I had already done.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Oh great, now I lost them. Oh! Wait. Oh, okay. I think he's kind of stuck. Hold on. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90? Perfect. Hey, pleasure doing business. At base, I started the process of making Alan's new bod, but there was just one missing ingredient, the 2 root pustules. Now luckily, this one wasn't like the spiral plant and was actually pretty self-explanatory because upon visiting the kelp root caves... Wait! This. Oh my god. Things were starting to feel a bit endgamey, so I stopped by Marguerite's to see if she had anything to say for herself for what she had done.
You again.
Yeah. That's it? You got my sister killed! I want to see Margaret's digs. Margaret has a sick setup. So I wasn't able to get to this part of her base before, but Marguerite had some pretty unique appliances like the sink and this whole shower, which clearly she probably should use more often. Anyways, by now I gathered the materials I needed for all 3 parts of the body, so I did one, hopefully last, quick trip down into the crystal caverns. Oh, okay, there's definitely, I'm now seeing 2 of you guys, great. Do you guys know where the lab is? The fabricator lab? Actually, no, it's down here.
So Alan, you said your people came here in search of a cure?
I was a researcher.
You were a scientist? Like me?
My people regarded my scientific contributions with particular interest.
As I said, like me.
If that is your interpretation.
So how did your valuable scientific mind wind up infected?
Not my mind, my body. Perhaps you should build the next component.
He was definitely a war criminal. 100%. A war criminal.
So you came here to search for a cure?
I led the mission.
Does that mean the bacteria got out on your watch?
This subject is uncomfortable. If you would like to know more, I will ask that you first construct the final component.
What will you do with your newfound freedom?
I must return home to make amends.
Amends? For the bacterium? There seems to be a lot you're not telling me.
It is hard for me to find the words. I must collect my thoughts. We have all the necessary components. You may initiate body fabrication sequence from the terminal.
You still owe me an explanation.
I understand.
Here we go. Commence storage medium fabrication.
The escape of the bacteria was an accident. I thought my solution was foolproof. I was wrong.
Did you cause the accident?
Yes.
Wow. Alan is huge. He's a centaur. After admiring Alan's new body, I began the transfer, moving Alan's consciousness from my head into the space centaur. Is he out?
Did it work? Are we...
He's gonna kill me, isn't he? Alan eventually confessed that the bacteria got out due to him directly disobeying an order from his network and had tried incubating some sea dragon eggs in a search of a cure, thus incurring the wrath of the sea dragon parents, which demolished his facility, which in turn released the Kara into the world. Alan wasn't sure if his homeworld was doing any better, but I, as Robin, volunteered to come along to help. But of course, before we head off the planet, I had a few things to attend to. Mainly completing my creature egg collection. Oh wait, there he is. I see him. He's so cute. He's a little one. He's a little boy. The glow whale. Okay, let's take out some of these crash. I don't need to know if we need. I think 3 or 4 crash fish are good. Be free, crash fish. Wow, they just left like that. They blew themselves up? No. You can take a crash fish out of the ocean, but you can't quite take the crash fish out of crash fish. Well, anyways, next on the agenda was finding the rest of the creature eggs. I had to consult a list to see which ones I was actually missing, and I picked up this brinewing egg from below this iceberg over here. Then I made my way over to these underwater ice caves to find an eye jelly egg. I thought for the longest times those were just juvenile ones. They are in fact Eggos. Continuing my aquatic Easter egg hunt, I made my way over to these scalding geothermal vents. Dangerous, sure, but this time I was in the safety of my prawn suit. I don't see evidence of the eggs anywhere. Oh, wait. Perfect. I don't know why anything would want to come down here to breed. Next on the list were the pangolin eggs, which were actually a bit harder to find than I initially thought. It was day 75, and while looking for the eggs, I discovered entire land masses and icebergs that I had completely missed during my playthrough. Oh, wow, I would have never in a million years found that. All right, hey guys, hey everyone. All right, so we got some new friends. We got these guys. My aquarium was certainly coming along, though arguably a bit inhumane with how cramped things were getting. There was no time to rest, however, because back at the surface, I resumed my egg hunt. What the f were you doing down here? Oh god, oh god. Oh Jesus, oh my god. Get in! What the hell are you doing here? I was 2 creature eggs short of eggs Sodia, so after picking up this brute shark egg, and then later a couple of elusive yellow trivalve eggs, my 100% every creature egg collection was basically complete. Should be good now, we just gotta wait for them to hatch. Of course, I'm not one to sit idly by, and I realized, I actually hadn't used the bathroom the entire time I've been down here. So, taking some of the blueprints from Maggie's base, I set up this lovely restroom complete with a shower, sink, and toilet. Did everything hatch yet? I think it did. There he is. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is the tiniest brute shark ever. But we also hatched just about everything else. Let me go through my list. Brine wings, check. Brute shark, check. Crashfish, plenty of checks. Cryptosuchus, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce the name. Check, that's in there. I won't bore you with me listing off every creature egg, but after double and triple checking, I did indeed get every single one of them. I then double checked my scanned Leviathan list, which I can confidently say I also 100%ed. With everything just about completed, I headed over to the Phase Gate waypoint where Alan was waiting for me. However, along the way, I came across another abandoned Altarian base, which was apparently used to try and locate Alan. There were also a few voice logs between Sam and Lillian where Sam hinted at her plans to try to get rid of the Kara herself. I ventured through this passageway with these heat lilies and eventually came across the Phase Gate facility where... Ah, and there's Alan. Alan.
Are you preparing to leave, Alan?
Yes. There is much to do. Do you still wish to leave with me? Beyond this teleporter, there is no turning back.
Are you kidding? I can't pass up a chance to see where Architect's coming from. Besides, I don't have another ride.
I do not know what we will find there. The others may be sick or angry, if they live at all.
Or you could find peace. Family.
I hope you are right. Please complete any business you still have on this planet. Join me on the other side when you are ready to leave.
Oh, he's going first. Wow, so this is it. This is it. The last achievement. Leave 4546B. Goodbye, guys. One teleport later, and I arrived in front of Alan's super secret phase gate. Borrowing a couple of robotic arms, I helped him reposition some energy mats, which then encircled Alan, and before I knew it, our ride was here. Oh, I thought that was the ship. There we go.
I apologize. The levitator was calibrated for heavier bodies. I would have helped you to your feet, but as you can see, I have been fully integrated with the ship.
Oh my god.
Is this permanent?
Nothing is permanent. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Close.
What will we find when we get there?
If I am the last of my kind, I will experience the sorrow of 10,000 souls dimming.
Jesus. That is very dramatic. Are we there?
And if they survived?
With you, I am ready to face whatever awaits.
That is cool. And with that, I successfully 100%ed Hardcore Subnautica Below Zero. It was an incredible ride, but things aren't slowing down for me just yet. You see, there is another apocalyptic fire brewing that I need to put out, this time in a place called Lumio City.